Hi, everyone. We're back. There was a problem with the signal, and we're going to hook up again with Sam Villa right now. Right away. Here we go. Let's invite Sam back on. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, we had like an outage, an internet outage. Abbiamo avuto un problema di internet. Adesso proviamo di ricollegarci con Sam. Okay, there he is. Oh my God. Like all of a sudden you started breaking up and then our
Yes.
line got disconnected.
Usually, I'm in my studio right now. Usually, my connection is fine, so
It's
I don't know
probably
what's going.
here in Italy.
Yeah. Well,
So you were
he,
saying about the phone and the experience.
yes. Okay. So let's go back to that. So here's the idea. It's about. I want to focus a little bit more on retail, and that is this: is that what we need to do is we really need to find ways in which to use products in different ways. I think that's so important, in terms of how you use a product instead of just following the directions.
Oh,
So
of
there's
course.
so many ways in which to do that. One of the things, Stephen, that I'm doing is like, for example, and I'm going to say this, and it's okay if everyone disagrees with me. I want to share with you what we're doing here that works. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you're doing a color and the color is processing. Most times, maybe in today's world, you might not be double booked. So you go back to a break room and you're sitting in the break room waiting for your color to process.
No.
My suggestion now in today's world is grab a mannequin, grab a long hair mannequin and a tripod, go sit with that client while the color is processing and teach them how to do simple things, how to do a ponytail, but put elastic in it. But how do you cover the elastic? Taking that elastic and coating the elastic with product and then putting the elastic on the hair so you buffer the hair shaft. Showing them how to do a simple two-strand braid. What happens is it creates a buzz. For example, someone might say, what's Sam doing over there? Oh, that's crazy Sam. He's playing with his dolls and he's showing his client how to do some tricks. And they'll go, well, wait a minute. Well, I saw what he just did. Wow, that's really cool. Can you teach me how to do that? See, what you're doing, I'm going to ask you, value, price is what they pay, and value is what they get.
Ah,
So I'm going to ask you, to your friends in your community, what value are you giving them? You
yeah.
see, by taking a mannequin and while their color's processing and teaching them some things and talking to them about product, you're educating them. And that's adding value to that appointment time rather than handing them a magazine and going back to the break room. So I
Awesome.
think those are
That's
the kinds of things that create that concept of experience.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm always out in the field, Sam. I'm always visiting salons. I'm out there with sales reps for different brands and different situations all the time, and it's just crazy now. Post lockdowns and everything, they're within like 100, 200 feet. There may be even two salons, right? Two different
Right.
salons. One is completely full, busy, and the other one is empty. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and there shouldn't be any reason they should be both working. And so I'm noticing this, like I'll be going down through the city blocks and we'll be visiting different salons and stuff, and I started interviewing the salons, to get an idea as to what was it that determined if the salon was busy or not. They're
Mm-hmm.
try and find a common denominator to justify the fact that within the same city block, two salons that seemed quality, image, and everything wise pretty much the same, why one salon was so busy and the next salon was not. But I have to tell you, like everything you're saying is so important, but where does it start? It starts from the awareness of what your day is all about. So, I mean, I'd go in and interview these salon owners. And the first thing I'd say, well, so how are you? Tell me about your business right now. How are things for you after the lockdowns and stuff like that? And the main difference, Sam, that I found between the professionals that were in the busy salon and the professionals that were in the non-busy salon was their attitude. their
Mm-hmm.
attitude. I mean, the first thing in the salons that were not busy, the first thing that they would answer my questions were with negatives. Well, how can one be after the COVID lockdowns? It's been so difficult for me. The bills are even higher, and I have less clients. And you know, they were starting. All they were doing was they were blocked and locked into the negativity
Yes.
of what was happening around them. And the vibration in the salon was a reflection of their attitude. And so, therefore, their presence. Now, in
Yes.
salons that were really busy, Sam, the difference was I walked in and right away I was greeted with positive energy. Like, hi,
Mm-hmm.
how are you? Thank you for coming in. What can I do for you today? You know, and it was all about me at that moment. Who was I? Why was I there? What was it all about? What could they do for me? And they zoned in and they concentrated on the experience began the minute that I walked in the door, and it was a positive experience. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe they were not even the best technically.
Right.
Their attitude was right. They didn't talk about their problems. They didn't talk about the difficulties in society right now. They didn't talk about, because face it, we have some very difficult years ahead of us, society, with politics, with economy, and with everything that's going on. But this is an opportunity. This, Sam, is our moment to shine. This
Totally
is
agree.
our moment. The
Yes.
professional beauty professionals, this is our time to shine, not the chefs, not the other, industries. This is the beauty professionals moment. And this is the time that we have to wake up every morning and psych ourselves out in front of the mirror and think about how many lives we're going to touch and affect in a positive way that day. And we're going to just concentrate on that energy, and you will see, if you are not working as much as you want and your salon is not performing, it has to start with you, the beauty professional, and your attitude and your approach, and then turn everything that you're giving us, Sam, into that positive experience.
Right. You know what, Stephen? I'm going to vote for you for president. here's I love what you're saying, because I want everybody to think about this. When you go to your environment, your home place for work, your salon, when you put your hand on that door to open up the door to walk in the salon, whatever's going on in your life, leave it outside. Leave it outside. The
The same,
person that is sitting there because of you. And you
exact.
need to know that. So it's whatever's going on, let it go. Like, some people, I talk about, how you communicate is so critical. For example, people say, well, Sam, you're so into this of the way you communicate. I go, well, what do you mean? They say, well, I've heard you communicate when you say, how's your family? How are your kids? Because that shows genuine concern. But you follow it up by saying, how's their hair? What's their hair like? Is it curly? Is it wavy? So immediately you turn it into a conversation about hair. Even when somebody says, hey, Sam, did you see the new movie Avatar? I said, yes, I love the makeup. I love the exaggeration of the hair. See, I control the conversation at the chair. So I want you to understand, as a salon professional, you can still show genuine concern, but they're there for a reason. And right now, the consumer more than ever needs our help.
Yes.
Simplicity is today's brilliance.
Oh, bravo.
Simplicity is today's brilliance. And that's what guests and clients are looking for. Please give me something simple to work with. I really believe that the trends you're going to see, you're starting to see it here now on this side of the pond, and that's texture, natural hair. People started to layer their hair out, doing all these shags, and they're like, wow, I got natural movement. I said, yes, let's embrace it. And then the whole idea of diversity and texture. My friends, hair is a fabric. Hair
Yeah.
is a fabric. We should know, just like fashion designers, they understand the limits and capabilities of silk and wool. So we must understand the limits and capabilities of fine hair, of coarse hair, of coily hair. All kinds of texture really matter. And I think as an overall around hairdresser, start taking some classes in texture so that you enhance your ability to be able to service anyone that sits in your chair.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of these things, like Sam, you are one of the most well-rounded educators in the world. You know,
Oh, thank
you
you, Steve.
wouldn't have that position that you have for so many years if you didn't do it with passion, if you didn't do it with a true concern and love for your colleagues and our industry, which is one of the main reasons why I'm so excited to be here with you today, so that we can share your passion and your love for our industry, because you know how important we are, and you know how important we are to the world and to people's lives. And
Yes.
if everybody just wants to like tap into the Sam Villa energy, they just got to go to Sam Villa Hair.
That's right. You just follow me there. You know what, Stephen? Education, you know that's my love. Education, I love being a teacher and I love sharing and you know, I get my inspiration from just about everybody. And then I share that. That's what I want to do is want to continue to share. But I think what we need to understand is when we had this whole idea of this pandemic, we got shut down, education was shut down, but we discovered virtual, exactly what you and I are doing right now. But I want to make sure that people understand, yes, I can learn something from watching the computer, yet the Rolling Stones, if I really want to get the experience of seeing the Rolling Stones, I can watch it live stream, but I can also go there in person and feel the ambiance, the vibe, the attitude, the people, the energy. So I want everyone to understand shows. Get yourself back to live educational events. Go to shows. Go to Salon International. Go to Cosmoprof. Because if you can walk away with one thought, one idea, that's going to turn your mindset, turn your chair around, help the people that sit in your chair. The computer cannot touch your heart like a live event, and the ambiance of that event can. So I really think education, you know, as an educator, I must never cease to learn. As a hairdresser, I believe we must never cease to learn. People go to me saying, well, I already know how to do that. I know that haircut. I go, okay, do you know how to do it this way? And they're
Yeah,
like, what do you mean? I said, I don't know about you, but I'm going to find 5 ways to cut a one length bob. And they're
yeah.
like, well, there's only one way to do it. I go, oh no, I'll start
Oh,
it in the front. And they go, oh, wow, I never thought about that. Why would you start in the front? I said, because I just had a conversation with a client and she kept saying, I want it no shorter than here. She said it 5 times. So you
in
know
front.
what? That's she's concerned somebody hasn't listened to her. So by starting the front and boom, right there, I immediately got a smile out of her face. It's thinking,
Yes.
okay, somebody listened to me. So you see, I want you to challenge yourself. Even though you may know something, find another way to do it.
And how important is that, Sam? The ability to listen and then take your skills and adapt them to the needs and the sensibilities of who you have sitting in front of you.
Yes. Questioning skills are life's greatest resource for learning. So I also want the hairdresser at the chair to understand your questioning skills are more valuable than what you have to say. So I want you to listen to understand before you listen to speak.
Ah,
So it's that's so important as a hairdresser. We have to understand that.
absolutely. Listen. That means 100% presence and concentration, because you have to read between the lines. And
Yes.
before you take an instrument in hand and begin to operate, you better make sure that you feel and know exactly, like you said, she was said it 5 times. I want the front bang. I don't want it
Mm-hmm.
here. So she is in, she, if you would have started in the back, she would have been anxious until you had finally arrived to the working the frontal area of her hair. She would have been sitting there uncomfortable in the chair
Yes.
the entire time. But the simple fact that you listened and you said, wait, she didn't say this once or twice. She said it 5 times. That means she's
Right.
had bad experiences. And I want to make her feel comfortable right away. So I'm going to start right in that area that she's concerned with, give her exactly what she wants, and then I'll proceed with the rest of the cut. So she is relaxed and enjoying the experience because I listened.
Yes. You know, if we learn, you know what, Stephen, if we learn to listen and then listen to learn, you will maximize your learning. So I think, you know, the good Lord gave us 2 of these and 1 of these. As a hairdresser, I believe we need to use this twice as much as we use this. And when we use this, we use it with intent and purpose. And I go back to that comment that I made earlier, where I really believe communication builds wealth. You said it earlier, you know, attitude is contagious. Pause and ask yourselves, is yours contagious? Is your attitude contagious? So
In a good,
attitude is what it's all about. You said it earlier, you know, when you walk in there and if they can detect that attitude. So I think, you know, it's all about minimum effort for maximum impact.
absolutely.
Technical or communication wise, you know. So ask yourselves, what's the intent, what's the purpose, whether you're working with your hands or whether you're communicating. We need to really have more intent and purpose and presence.
Absolutely. And that is everything. And you know what, Sam? If we wake up every morning and when we're getting ready and look at
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and we just go over these things, this awareness. Okay, I'm waking up another, not just another day. It is
Right.
a day, and today I want to help make people's lives better. And I want to end my day feeling wonderful about what I accomplished
Yes.
and how wonderful I made people feel. So
Right.
there I could end my day knowing that I did something good for the world, for my community, and the people that came to see me. There is no better marketing than that.
Yes. Here's the thought I want you to think about. This one is grow your compliments versus your comments. So if you focus on that, if you
Love that.
focus, yeah, if you focus on that, see, sometimes you have to disconnect to reconnect. So we disconnected with each other and the industry because we had no choice. But now we're reconnected. But what I want you to think about is stop with the comments and start thinking what I have to say is going to grow a compliment. And I
Oh,
think so. I want you to think about that. Grow your compliments versus your comments. You know, clarity without trust, Stephen, it produces fear. So you have
absolutely.
to trust your clarity. And
I
it's
have to
right now, clarity is so important in the world today.
I have to say this in Italian. Sam sta dicendo, dobbiamo prima pensare dei contenuti per poi generare un complimento favorevole a chi abbiamo davanti, non i commenti su quello che troviamo davanti, ma i complimenti su quello che troviamo davanti, perché subito vediamo le persone in disagio. Per cui i nostri pensieri devono essere direzionati verso il complimento per quello che è il bello, il giusto, quello che è di evidenziare perché è quello che è speciale. E poi piuttosto di commento. Commento significa, oh, come sono brutti i tuoi capelli, quando l'ultima volta che hai fatto colore, come sono asciutti o secchi, non stai usando i prodotti giusti, la metti già ai clienti sul difensivo. Per cui Sam sta dicendo pensare in positivo per generare un complimento prima di un commento. All right, Sam, that was like so wonderful. I had to make sure it arrived in Italian.
Oh, I'm so thankful you did that, you know, because I really believe that we're no longer just conversationalists. We're at that chair, we're no longer conversations. Here's what I really feel, Stephen. The hairdresser that stands at the chair and becomes the educator is the one that's going to win.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to understand that you are educators, and you're going to say, well, Sam, I don't do shows, I don't do classes. You're doing one every day with every client,
Every
whether you
client.
know it or not. Be a teacher at the chair, because that's what's going to keep your book filled. That's what's going to be driving in new clients, new guests, because that's all clients want now. Show me how. Tell me how. That's why I feel using that phone and videotaping tutorials for them and using their phone. I mean, retail sales will go up and it sells itself. You know, so, you know, 20% of our time when we pick up a product, 20% of that time is about describing the feature of the product. 80% of the time is teaching the client the benefits of what the product does.
By
So,
using, knowing them.
yes, right. Yeah. I mean, when you have a choice, my friends, you can continue to do with the things that you're doing, but I guarantee you, you're going to get left behind.
Oh,
You're
you know,
going to get left behind.
absolutely, absolutely. Just a little small example. And I saw this also in one of your teachings. I said, oh my God, well, that's like Sam is so on it. You know, they clients always say, I can never get the same effect. Example, round brush, right? The round
Right.
brush. I
Yes.
never get the same effect as in the salon. And do you know the only reason they're not getting the same effect is because their elbow isn't in the right place. Their
Right.
elbow down, their elbow isn't up as if ours, because we're up, we're working on them, and the end
Hmm.
of the brush would be as if their elbow is up in the air holding the round brush. They get the same angle. And they said, oh my God, that simple little awareness that you taught me when I'm doing my round brush changed everything.
And it's that one little simple conversation, that one simple little thing got the compliment. But see, it was the education that got the compliment. So I think that's why I said earlier, who chooses to become an educator at the chair is going to win. So educate, educate, educate. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Now, I'm not saying teach them how to cut their hair. I'm saying that there's ways that you can educate them to make their life simple when they're at home. And then I think when you cut a fringe, fringes are really popular. We're cutting tons of fringes, all kinds of fringes. You're going to start to see a side saddle fringe come in. But the idea is teaching these clients how to work with those fringes is really important. So it's not only about the service that you provide, but it's about the education that you're tacking onto that service is going to make a big difference in the future.
That's really, really, really good. I mean, it's really amazing. And what better way to make the day more interesting as well? Because so many of our colleagues, they get into a grind, they get into a rut, and a client just becomes another number, another appointment, another hair color, another, root touch up or whatever. And, they've lost their passion and they've lost their interest. So many of my colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
around and interviewing salons, you can feel it. You can feel that they just don't have the passion and the interest anymore because they feel like they're not they just their clients and everything, nothing is stimulating. There's got to be ways to stimulate your creativity, and what better way than to become a beauty professional educator to the people that come to you in the salon, because they're looking beautiful when they outside of the salon is just as important, and is just as important as an advertising as them walking out of the salon beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, when we think about, I feel I'm so fortunate to be in this industry. The people I've met, the places I've seen, and how it's treated me. But I really believe for all the youth that are out there, what you put out is what you get back. And I want you to remember that. So don't sit and, well, why am I not busy? Don't sit there and ask yourself, why are you not busy? Don't count on the salon owner. You need to promote yourself. You need to get involved with social. Social media is our new business card. That this whole platform of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Yet the youth, I think Gen Z are the people that we need to pay attention to. Gen Z is leading the way. Eventually, at some point, they're going to be running the government. So we need to listen to them. We need to embrace them. And they are the wave of the future. Yes, you might disagree. Yet I remember back in the old days when my parents would say, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. And here we are today. The things that they said would never happen are happening. So let's continue to embrace each other, brace other brands. You might have your favorite brand, but I'm an artist that I might be with Redken, but I support other brands. I have other brands on my lives as guests. Artists supporting artists. I think it's not about us knocking each other down in social media, because you don't know what could be going on in their life. Steve and I went to a school once, And this girl came up to me. She goes, "Oh, Sam, I'm so excited to see you. My mom follows you. I got in the hair industry because I started watching your videos. And now I'm trying to post like you do. And all I do is get hate. So I'm going to be quitting the industry." And I looked at her. I said, "You look at me. Look at me." I said, "Do you realize that I was once you? I once sat where you sat. I once was bullied like maybe you're being bullied on social media, but I was bullied because of the way that I looked." I said, "I want you to understand something. You're a human being. What you need to do is understand what's inside of you and what's going to make you feel good. Do you love this industry?" She goes, "I love it, but I can't take what people are saying about me." I told her, "That's because they are in a bad place. As long as you continue to stay in a good place and help people, you're always going to get something back." So she got a hold of me a year later, and she is still in the industry. And it was that conversation that we had. I just told her, "Don't give up. I was once you." You know, she goes, "Well, you were like that." I said, "If only you had an hour, I could sit down and tell you about my life."
We've
So
been we've been there.
yes, yes, and it's you know it's so this is why I'm so much into the youth. I feel the youth are the wave of the future. They're the butterflies of the future, and we need to embrace them and share with them as much as we can.
Absolutely, Sam. Wow, this has been amazing. Wow, so good to catch up with you again after such a long time.
I have a surprise. I want to share a technique with your community. Is that okay if I just do a quick little fringe for you?
Connection right when he has a
Oh, you
surprise.
froze. Yeah, you froze. You there?
Yeah, there I am.
Okay. All right. I want to do a little fringe technique for you. Cut a fringe for your community. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be great. Great that the frangia sta tornando di moda. Sam vuole tagliarci una frangia per condividere con noi oggi questa tecnica sua sulla frangia. Fantastico. Non vedo l'ora. Ecco, siamo nel suo studio.
Okay, Stephen, I'm grabbing. Here we go.
All right.
Okay,
God, I
so
wish this.
what I want to do is I'm going to show your community a really simple way to graduate or layer a fringe. So this is an existing haircut that I have. It's a bob. So go ahead and
Okay.
say that in Italian. And say that in Italian, Stephen. Did you freeze up, Stephen?
No, yes.
Hello, Stephen.
Oh, I'm so bummed about this signal today.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Can you see me?
Well, yeah, it's a bit fuzzy, but yeah, I can see you. I can see your hand. Riesco a vedere la mano.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So I want to do something really simple, and I want to show you. I think that as I was saying earlier, simplicity is today's brilliance, and it's what we're doing and how we do it. So this is a pretty long fringe that I have here. Okay. What I do is I want to create a fringe that has a little bit more of this. Now, normally what I would do is I would cut my length first. Okay, and then I might go in and layer it. Watch what I'm going to do, Stephen. I'm going to take a triangle section.
Okay, move
Okay,
slow,
just
Sam.
using it from the middle part.
Sam, move slowly because the signal's very bad.
Okay, I'll go really slow.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why this signal is bad.
Why the signal's
That's
so
too bad. Okay.
it must be, I don't know if it's us, but we're not seeing you very clearly and we don't want to miss this.
I know. So how about if we do this? I go back off, and then I'll come back on again. All right.
Okay, let's try that.
All right. So I'm going to go off, and then I'll come back to you. Okay. To
Yeah.
let your audience know I'm going to come back.
All right. So adesso Sam si scollega un attimo per provare di trovare una connessione migliore, perché sta per farci vedere una tecnica meravigliosa per fare una scalatura sulla frangia in un modo molto 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 semplice. So, adesso vediamo di ricollegarci con Sam. Ecco, Sam Villa Hair. Villa per tornare. Speriamo che abbiamo una connection.
All
Ok.
right. Okay, that worked. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Here, I'm going to take a triangle section. Okay, now this is an existing haircut, has a fringe in it already, but watch what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Okay. You know what, Stephen? I'm trying to find as many as I
It's
can to
copy
create
again.
what I already know. That's what my goal is. So, you know, you can cut fringes in many different ways, but I've discovered this is a great way to cut a fringe to layer it out. So you get minimum effort with maximum impact. So here's a triangle section I've taken. Okay, you can see that triangle section. There's a short fringe underneath it.
Frontale, okay.
Now I'm going to take the top of the triangle and I'm going to bring this down to the hairline. So that is going to be as short as the hairline.
Ok. So lui adesso prende questa sezione dalla cima del triangolo, la porta alla stessa lunghezza dell'attaccatura dei capelli e poi prendi un'altra sezione.
Now I'm taking a horizontal section and I'm going to over direct this horizontal section back to this short guide that I just created there.
Ok, so adesso dalla guida che lui ha creato, da questo primo punto, la porti in una sezione orizzontale, lo porti indietro, sopra la sezione iniziale e lo usa come guida.
Okay, now I'm going to take another horizontal section in this triangle and do the same thing again.
Allora prendi un'altra sezione orizzontale, quello sotto, e la riporti su, sopra, come prima.
Once again, I over direct this back to that guide.
Ma si vedi qualcosa, Chris?
Okay, now watch what I'm getting, Stephen. I'm getting a soft edge, short to long.
Ok.
Last horizontal section.
Adesso si ha creato una scalatura portando tutto al punto dietro alla sezione iniziale, inoltrando indietro sopra quella sezione sopra, tagliandolo per creare questa scalatura in modo molto semplice.
So everything was over directed back, working horizontally to that short little guide that I created. When I release this, this now works short to long, but now look how soft my fringe has become.
Oh, that's nice.
You see? Now, what I would normally do in the old days is I would be like this, and I would be cut my length. Then I would come back in and I'd be layering it like this.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
What I did was instead of working vertical like this,
right.
I worked horizontal over directing back to achieve a line that goes short to long.
Yes.
That way, I immediately get my degree of softness. But what I love about this is look how that leaves me this length out here on that outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. Perché lui, piuttosto di fare il modo classico di tagliare prima la guida frontale e poi usando sezioni verticali, come facciamo di solito, portando tutto su, lui ha fatto quello triangolo, ha creato la guida usando l'attaccatura dei capelli frontale, portando in orizzontale sezione per sezione fino ad arrivare in cima all'attaccatura, alla prima sezione. Poi quando cadi giù, tutti i capelli cadono giù con questa morbidezza come lo vedi nel taglio.
Good job, Stephen. I'm so impressed with your Italian. All right, but I just wanted to share that with your community and just give them something a little bit that they can take back to the salon. But once again, this whole story that I'm on about when it comes to cutting, my goal is all about, you know, simplicity is today's brilliance. What used to take me maybe about 10 minutes to do, now I've cut the time down in half, 5. Now, why do you want to do that? The reason you want to do that so I can spend more quality time with a client, teaching them how to finish their hair. In the old days, Stephen, I would spend the majority of the time cutting their hair and less time teaching them how to finish their hair. But now I think it's reversed. We've discovered so many different ways in which we can cut hair, minimum effort for maximum impact, and now more impact on teaching them how to work with their hair.
Per cui sta trovando un modo, come appena condiviso con noi, per ridurre il tempo della lavorazione, per avere più tempo di condivisione, anche di insegnamento al cliente finale, per come gestire i capelli, gestire il taglio, gestire il colore, gestire il lavoro realizzato. Così è sempre bello, anche fuori dal salone, è sempre una pubblicità meravigliosa. This is wonderful, Sam. We love it. I mean, we could just eat it today. We're going to have to like book another appointment with you.
I would love to see you again. You just reach out to me, my friend, and you know I love the Italians. You know, Italy is like another home to me. But I would be happy, Stephen, anytime you just invite me, and you know you will always receive a yes.
All right. Well, tutti, la cosa più importante di oggi è di stare positivi, di stare carichi e avere degli incentivi, di alzarvi ogni giorno per migliorare la vita delle persone e per migliorare tutto quello che è la nostra società, comunità, perché insieme, lavorando con consapevolezza, possiamo migliorare il mondo e possiamo unirci a persone come Sam Villa e i suoi corsi, Sam Villa Hair, on Instagram, samvillahair.com. Is it samvillahair.com?
It is samvillahair.com, yes. And it's Samvia Hair for the Instagram, Samvia Hair for the YouTube, and I suggest that they subscribe on my YouTube channel.
Assolutamente, vai a trovarlo su YouTube, Sam Villa Hair, e potresti imparare tantissime cose, ma soprattutto anche essere motivati, perché Sam Villa è un grande motivatore, è una persona di grande carica positiva, perché lui capisce quanto siamo importanti e quanto è importante il nostro settore per il bene del mondo. Per cui grazie a tutti quanti per essere qui con noi oggi con Sam Villa, che ha condiviso i suoi pensieri e le sue visioni del nostro settore, soprattutto adesso in questo grande periodo di cambiamento di cultura, di società. Sam, we want to thank you so much for sharing with us today and sharing your positive energy and your positive outlook for the future, because I believe that the future has wonderful opportunities, and I think we're going to build a better world.
Yes, we are. Together, we can do that by supporting each other. And I want you, my friends out there, focus on how you can versus why you can't, because I believe in you and you can.
Esatto.
Molte grazie, Stephen.
Fatto quello che puoi e non quello che non puoi, perché lui crede che ce la facciamo tutti. All right, Sam, thank you so much. It was so great to see you. And Sam Villahair, he's the best, #1. Follow him. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Stephen.
Ciao, ciao.
Take care, my friend. Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.